This is SUNLU's new AMS Lite heater. Let's unbox this thing, check it out, and see if it's any good. Hopefully. Might even solve my A2L problem, because that's a problem. All right, let's get this thing unboxed and take a look at it and see what's inside here. But you know what's important? No trampling. So this is so new, I don't even have pricing yet. So we're just gonna roll with it. And if I get pricing, I'll add it right here. But this doesn't actually release for pre-order until, I don't know, another like week and a half. I'll be on vacation at that point. But let's get this thing unboxed and check it out. Wow, this is quite big. All right. It's packaged quite nicely. It's a super simple packaging. This is a very large item. And it's definitely gonna take up some space, but it might be better than whatever the normal AMS Lite system is. Let's keep unboxing this thing. We got some tape to take off. It looks really nicely done. I will say that. It looks high quality. It's got nice clear plastic on it. You can see what's going on. But you are going to absolutely need an AMS Lite for this to work. This will not work without it, which is kind of cool, but at the same time, it's like, all right, I get it. It's definitely one way of doing it. Now, SUNLU did send this to me so I could make some content with it. But I'm actually kind of excited to use this for my Bambu Lab A2L, because currently when that thing prints, the AMS Lite is just bouncing all over the place to where it's actually a problem. And I ran into some issues printing because of that. Now, SUNLU, you could do a little bit better with this tape. It definitely doesn't come off super easy, and it's leaving some residue. Here on the front, it looks like we have a little control panel that we'll get to here in just a minute. Trying to do easier videos. I spend a lot of time on my review videos, but some of the stuff like this, it doesn't need a huge big video. I'd rather just kind of like knock it out and just have some fun with it. Let's get inside here. Inside in this packaging, we've got, thank you, power cord, a cover of some sort, and some screws. I'm assuming this is to mount the AMS Lite inside. All right, so here is my AMS Lite from the Bambu Lab A2L. First off, I'm gonna take this stand off because, well, we're definitely not gonna need it anymore. Where did that come from? Okay, it is so hot, so humid in the garage right now. I am sweating. So if I'm getting a little moist, I apologize, but that's just the way it is here in the summer. All my stuff is in the garage and this is where I film. So yeah, summer sucks out here. Do not recommend. Stands off. I don't think I have instructions for this. We're just gonna wing it. I mean, how hard could it be? I'm gonna hop online and see if I can't find some instructions. Okay, so it looks like this top comes off and this slides right in. Let's see if we can figure this out. Oh goodness, there we go. Yep, all right, cool. Set that right there. I'm gonna assume that this cable just gets routed right through here. I can't do this one-handed. Yeah. Oh, and there's tape there. That would help. So now this just goes right here. Slides in. So you have these two screws that are the same on the other side. These are just attaching it all together. Don't over tighten it because you will strip it out, it feels like. Okay, now to install this part, you do need to take this part off. There's two screws here and there are two screws on the back side. This lifts up. And now we can take this and install this to this. And this is just gonna essentially rise everything up, it seems like. And now we can plug these in. This nice little clip that hides everything. There is a grommet piece that'll cover this up. Squeeze the fun out of it. Just a little twisty motion and it gets it in there. All right, put the lid back on it. SUNLU towards the front. Weird. Come on. Got a screen for the front, which I think I can plug in maybe. The interfaces on these things are pretty much all the same. You get your power on set. We can change to PA, nylon, relative humidity, PC, PLA, PETG, TPU, ABS, PA, relative humidity. So what's cool about relative humidity is you can tell it I want to go down to like 25% humidity and it'll automatically turn off once it reaches that. Personally, I would never use that. I would just set it for, hey, look, I want to do PLA 6 hours at 35 or at 50 degrees Celsius. You hit set and you can switch everything you need. Right off the bat, it's not very loud. It definitely does make some noise because you do have those dual fans going in and kind of circulating that air. You do have the 2 heating elements. And what's cool is you can access the sides by just opening this door and loading in some filament. Let's go ahead and get that done. Actually, when you open the door, it actually sounds an alarm. That's kind of cool. All right, let's load up some filament. Let's load up some voxel PLA because this is some cool filament. If you haven't checked them out before, hit the link down in the description below, but let's go ahead and put this in. To install the filament, just pull the latch down, ignore the beeping alarm, put this in. Helps if your filament's cut the right way. There we go. Holy crap, I want you to go move this thing around right now. And something that you definitely need to be concerned about is on the sides here, they have these stickers that saying, hey, these hinges are gonna be hot. Yeah, they're freaking hot. That could be an issue. Ouch, yeah. Let me grab my temp gun and see if I can't measure this. All right, I got my handy dandy temp gun here. Table is 109. It just tells you how bad it is in here. But we're looking 100 and 142, 147. Whew, so that is definitely something to be careful with because that is really hot and you can feel the heat radiating off of this. Yeah, definitely don't let your kids grab this because this bottom area is quite toasty. Initial thoughts, build quality seems pretty good. I like the way it looks. I think it's gonna do pretty well. Only time will tell. This is not a review. This is just me overviewing what is coming out soon for you guys to check out and possibly purchase. It's just initial impressions. It is, do you hear that? It is getting a little loud. Something's like vibrating, hold on. And now it's gone. Yeah, something, maybe because I need to load more filament, I don't know. So this is really cool. I don't know pricing on this, so we don't know if it's gonna be worth it. Like I said, if I know the price, I'll put it right here. But just real quick, some quick specs on it. You can print and dry at the same time. It can do up to 70 degrees Celsius, and they're talking about, you know, doing ABS and ASA and nylon, but realistically, if you have an AMS Lite, you probably have a Bambu Lab A1, A2, A1 Mini. You're not gonna be able to print that material anyway, so who kind of cares? You could probably just use it as a filament dryer for your other printers if you need to. It does have auto moisture venting. Up on the top, there are some vent holes that'll automatically open and close, I believe. If you do pick this up, you do have to have the AMS Lite in order for it to work. So this is definitely an added expense, but it is a really cool idea. Now I can see this working quite well for my Bambu Lab A2L, which would shake the AMS Lite all over the place. Hopefully that won't occur with this because it's pretty stout. So yeah, if you're interested in checking this out, I'll have a link to the pre-order page down below, but as with any pre-order, be careful when pre-ordering. Make sure whatever you're gonna pre-order is actually gonna ship. You know, there's been so many times where pre-orders have been done and nothing ever gets shipped or gets super delayed. Pre-order at your own risk. But this is Adam from the Rad Dad Print Lab, sweating like absolute crazy. And I'll see you next time.